Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Will Leggetter.
And today we're talking about 1988's A Fish Called Wanda.
Otto is a man of many talents.
Hey, great fish. Oh, a little squeeze of lemon, some tartar sauce.
Ken is a man of few words.
Tell him from me.
George is the man with the plan.
13 millions, my friends.
And Wanda
Do you speak Italian?
Molto pericolosa.
is the woman they love. They all set out to commit the perfect crime.
To 20 million.
To a job well done.
But it turned into something
George moved the loot?
less than perfect.
Disappointed!
So they turned to a lawyer named
Archie Leash.
Leech. George is going to tell him what the diamonds are.
with Wanda as the bait.
I want you to make love with me.
Pop.
Nothing.
He's really hooked.
I thought you weren't jealous.
I'm not. I don't believe in jealousy. It's for the weak.
Come a girl as bright as you could have a brother who's so...
Don't call me stupid.
I'm really, really sorry. I apologize unreservedly.
Are you totally deranged?
Will,
Hello.
this is a relatively new film for you.
It is.
This was your second watch, I believe?
Yeah, I watched it only a couple of weeks ago, actually. Date of recording.
However, I imagine that
all
it
over
is...
again to make
Yes.
notes.
However, I imagine that it is... Seeing as it is so unequivocally in your wheelhouse, that it is slowly climbed up your little comedy rankings.
John Cleese,
Will you leave immediately, please?
Jamie Lee Curtis,
Kiss me there.
Kevin Kline,
Put the other one up.
Michael Palin.
May I kiss you, Ken?
No, you can't!
A Fish Called Wanda. A smashing
Oh, dear.
comedy.
I did enjoy it a lot. It's about it. We'll get to it, but pretty much, strangely, it's not really the Cleese-esque stuff in it. It's a lot of the Kevin Kline moments.
Trust me, there is no debate about who wins this film. I have put best performance in Tom's big question, but there's just no debate. Yeah, no, this is John Cleese written, with partial collaboration with Charles Crichton, and then directed by Charles Crichton, with partial collaboration by John Cleese. So it's a whole John Cleese, Charles Crichton job. You'll know Charles Crichton from those classic Ealing comedies, Lavender Hill Mob, and the like. And basically, John Cleese, they were talking, I think Charles Crichton wanted a movie with a roller rolling over somebody, and John Cleese liked the fish idea, and I think that was it. He wanted a character to have a stutter, and it to be a running thing throughout about this stutter, but then in the end, there would be a scene where he had to give some vital information.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they just, it's a fun way to write a film, actually. I did it a couple of months back. I was like,
Copied it. Original stuff.
No, but I was like, what very specific things do I like in movies? And I was like, weddings, erotic thrillers, man on the run movies, and law movies. And I was like, yeah, why not? Put them all together and mixed with political intrigue. But this was even more specific. It's A Fish Called Wanda. It's John Cleese as barrister Archie Leach, who gets entangled in a bank robbery diamond plot, which has been conducted by just the incomparably beautiful, wonderfully funny Jamie Lee Curtis as Wanda, who it's a bit like I can't remember whether we brought it up on there, something about Mary, but it's that sort of perfect woman and just lots of great comedic characters around her.
It's almost sort of girl next door role though as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Which she does very well.
So basically, when Cleese wrote the script, and he thought, this film can never work because we're never going to find somebody as perfect to play Wanda. And then he saw Trading Places, and he was like, "Oh, generally
Dan Aykroyd.
Eddie Murphy as Wanda." Trading Places, upcoming episode certainly. But I do love Trading Places. Might put that into Christmas. Anyway, we'll see. Oh yes, I'm a planner. Well, and so the robbery has been conducted by Wanda, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Kevin Kline as Otto, a Nietzsche-loving, semi-stupid American.
Bit of peep show for you there. Little crossover.
Or the Nietzsche.
What, seasons beatings?
Yes, indeed. I mean, they both reference Nietzsche. So in a way, yes. But and then we also have Michael Palin as Ken Pyle, a stuttering, just completely head over heels in love with Wanda. And the best part of the film, George Thomason, played by. Did you find out this man's real name, Will?
No.
George Thomason is played by Tom Georgeson.
Oh, great.
Incredible. Maybe the best part of the film. Let's do YouTube comments. There's actually quite a big age difference between John Cleese and Jamie Lee Curtis. About 19 years, I think. Yeah, that's kind of the point. He needs to be completely. She doesn't. It's their relationship, so it's like an afterthought. She's not.
Yeah.
Well, she says, doesn't she? I'm not into necrophilia. Have you seen Fierce Creatures? Well,
I haven't.
So Fierce Creatures is basically. It's really disappointing. It's Kline, Cleese, Curtis, and Palin back. The poster is basically the exact same thing, and it's another 4 wacky characters movie, but it's all in a zoo this time. And did Cleese write it? Yeah, Cleese wrote it. Yeah, from an idea from Terry Jones and Michael Palin, the Fierce Animal Policy, which I presume would have been a Python sketch. And this time it's directed by Fred Schlepsy. What did he direct? Roxanne and 6 Degrees of Separation. Yeah, and it's just not great at all. It's very disappointing, unfortunately. And it's 97, so like everybody's 10 years older, and so it's got that weird thing about it. It's just not great. It's rather disappointing. When comedies made people laugh. We get a lot of these. Every time we do a comedy, the comments are always, comedies aren't good anymore. And it's not that I don't think comedies aren't good anymore, but now that I'm putting myself in this position, I don't know.
They were more sophisticated back then. But they still are. I just think the genre's changed. I think it's different. However, I love Horrible Bosses. That's a sort of gold you get nowadays. That's a comedy.
Yeah, I rewatched Horrible Bosses 2. Not good. Not good. Yeah, very. I think we talked about it on Superbad, but I think the noughts, shall we call them, is an impeccable decade for comedy. When you just list them off, you've got the whole Cornetto trilogy, then you've got Anchorman, Superman, Jesus Christ, Anchorman, all those early Apatow movies, 4-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, Funny People even, I think it's all right.
Dinner for Schmucks?
Anyway, either way, just that Apatow, Step Brothers, Zoolander, Dodgeball, I
watched Zoolander the other day. I love Zoolander.
Incredible stuff. Like it's Will Ferrell's peak. Hangover gets just in. I can't remember whether it's 09 or 10, but I'm allowing it. It's got your best Will Ferrell, your best Stillers. I mean, you could argue the Happy Gilmore cameos, maybe Stiller's best, but even some really good. Oh no, not really good Sandler. That's the 90s. Anyway, but that's a really good decade.
When
However, I
did
still
Click
think
come out?
exactly. However, I'd still argue that the 80s were the best decade for comedy. I think
I mean, you've got the Airplane.
Airplane and Caddyshack coming out in the same year.
Yeah.
Alone.
You've got Ghostbusters, with one of the greatest comedies
Ghostbusters,
of all time.
Tootsie, this, Clockwise, another great Cleese comedy. Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Terms of Endearment to an extent, just the first out. I guess you can't cut, it's not a laugh out loud. When Harry Met Sally, all your Woody stuff in the 80s is great. Hannah and the Sisters, Crimes and Misdemeanors, all that stuff, impeccable. It's a great, great, great decade for comedy. What else? What are the Risky Bit? What we just talked about. Trading Places, Coming to America, Blues Brothers, all those great John Landis comedies. And we get Fish Called Wanda at the tail end of this. Tell me, Will, what do the movies A Fish Called Wanda, City Slickers, Ed Wood, Jerry Maguire, and Little Miss Sunshine have in common?
I couldn't tell you.
Your clue is we'll be getting to it later.
A set, a building.
Bad guess. It was. They're all comedies, which won Best Supporting Actor. So Kline obviously won. Jack Palance for City Slickers, Landau for Ed Wood, Cuba Gooding, and Alan Arkin, respectively. All deserved, I think.
I mean,
we
definitely Kevin.
Definitely Kevin Kline.
Archie Leach.
Darling. Darling? Yes, dear?
Is a lawyer who's in love with a thief, who's hiding the key to a small fortune
To 20 million.
from a killer called Otto.
Are you totally deranged?
Friend too, old chap.
A crazy called Ken. And only a fish called Wanda knows where it is.
Where are the diamonds?
A Fish Called Wanda.
Hello, Wanda.
Rated R. Starts Friday. Check newspaper for a theater near you.
I forget. Oh, go on.
My family insist is in Sleeping with the Enemy.
It's Kevin Anderson.
Well, yes, we have this conversation every time we put it on. Oh, you're not seen Sleeping with the Enemy? Oh, it's that one with Kevin Kline.
Is it because they haven't seen any of the Kevin Kline movies?
Probably.
Are they not big Dave fans?
No.
Dave's great. Love Dave. Not Meet Dave, not the Eddie Murphy movie. Dave.
Oh, Christ. I completely forgot about that scene.
Best 10-minute stretch. Will, why don't you kick us out?
Hey, I've got a couple in. I've got that whole discovering apology dangling from the window.
Yeah, the dockside date I've also got.
Yes. Oh, alliteration. I've got that. I've got the interrogation where he eats the fish.
Yeah, because that 10 minutes of both interrogations, the Nietzsche interrogation, and then
and then I've just gone for the final showdown.
Yeah, I really like the airport. Previous guest Ava Robinson also very much loves this film. She couldn't make it today, but she's more of a first hour girl than she is a second hour. But I think I'm more of a second hour. Yeah,
I'm a second hour girl.
Hi, we're the second hour girls, and this is our podcast where we only watch the second hour of movies. We start at 1 hour and we stop. It doesn't matter.
I mean, we've found a gap in the market, really. It's quite niche.
Because some movies, I mean, I've talked about my idea for a Sky channel before, haven't I? The Fade to Black channel, where it's just like the happy parts of movies. It's just the wedding from The Godfather. It's just Goodfellas before the Coke. It'd be the best channel in the world, and everybody would watch it. Despite being a second hour girl, I do have the heist. I like the introduction. Specifically, the whole heist is great. The opera evening, where they are the wife and daughter, played by John Cleese's real daughter.
Really?
Yeah. And he said that.
Who were you talking to?
I couldn't think of anybody more perfect to play a spoiled brat.
Oh, John.
And she was like, no, it's all over exaggerated. It was bloody not. And so then that great stuff, just the whole back and forth, and it's perfect farce.
It's very Fawlty Towers. That
Exactly.
is a scene straight from Fawlty Towers.
I don't want to, I always have this sort of blanket thing with 40 Towers, and I think it's a little bit patronising, but I always say that the first 10 minutes of 40 Towers have good jokes, but are always very slow. However, the last 30 minutes of every 40 Towers episode is some of the most incredible TV. It just arrived, my Blu-rays.
I've always said, I probably put it up there. I'm not sure about Python.
Flying Circus is too surreal and too random.
Yeah, but I definitely say 40 Towers is 40 Towers, Blackadder, and something else. But they are in the top 3 pinnacle of British humour. The best.
Yeah.
The best.
I think IT Crowd's got a nice solidified position now.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a little bit older. I think League of Gentlemen has a nice sort of prestige place now. It's less of a cult thing.
The character Alan Partridge in general up there.
Yeah. I think, but those 40 Towers, they're just unassailable.
Yeah.
They're just impact.
And even when I say perfect amount.
Yeah, and even when I say that the first 10 minutes are slow, those first 10 minutes also usually include no. There's too much butter on those trays. No. Uno, dos, tres. Incredible. So you've even got great gags in there. And the Cleese, I think he had 14 drafts of the script.
Really? That sounds like me.
Yeah.
I like to draft and date my scripts.
You do, famously. However, he did say that across the years, Kline added jokes, Palin added jokes, Curtis added jokes. And then he said that there was like something short of 20 people who have added a line or a joke here or there. Mm-hmm. So, and this is common with most comedy scripts, especially in that 2010s period that we talked about, with just the height of improvisation. Like, what did Apatow say to Seagull? He said, on Forgetting Sarah Marshall, he said, you write a serious drama script and then about a guy breaking up, and then we'll add all the jokes because everybody's really funny. Because that's another thing that I like about those Apatow films, is that it is all the same 10 people, and it's like they're all, and you can clearly tell that they're all friends. One of my favorite things in the world is the audio commentaries on those on those Blu-rays, because they're just five of them just laughing, and you can clearly tell that some of them may be slightly inebriated. No, it's great shit. What have I? Upper Evening, Dockside Day, Interrogations, Airport. We're in sync, well.
This is great. This is great stuff. We don't do this often.
We don't. Tom's weirdly specific favourite parts of the film. I don't know why. I always liked Jamie Lee Curtis's disguises in this movie, because I don't think they're actually very good. So the opening mustache one.
I don't like the gag of the shaving cream mustache. I'll throw that in early. I don't like that. It's a bit...
Well, no, that's not a gag. That's just because she was going to shave.
Yeah. I don't like it.
The bit where it's
I say this, and it's something I would write.
Yes, bro. The bit where
yes. Are you going now?
Yes, and then he punches the frame. Sorry about that. Incredible.
I do like that. I've got that in my notes.
Wanda safe whack. I really like the reveal of the empty safe with Wanda with the truncheon. I think that just completely immediately, it's just a great little thing that sets you off on, I have no idea what's going to happen here. I don't know who to trust, because I think all the way until the final car.
You don't know whose side she's on?
Yeah, I think There's a very specific moment, and I've got it. I'll just say it now. It's in specific moments, but it's when they're in the car, and he's got his arm around her, and it's why should I trust you? Because I've got the key to the safety deposit box, and he goes, that's a good reason. And she jumps in and they both laugh. And it's really, really organic and really well done and not rehearsed in the slightest. It's really, really great stuff. Au revoir. You speak French too? Because they're not her glasses. When she takes them off and her eyes have to adjust. She goes, let's talk about Jamie Lee Curtis for a little bit. What's your relationship with Jamie Lee Curtis?
I just know her from right. So it's either Terminator or Halloween. Which one is it?
This is unbelievable.
I've just had
Are
a
you
mind
confusing Linda Hamilton with Jamie Lee Curtis?
No, from Halloween.
From Halloween, yes. However, if I hadn't said Linda Hamilton, would you have got it?
No, I would have said Halloween.
Yeah, she is, of course, rather famously, Laurie Strode. It's a good job Ava isn't here, because I don't know if she could strangle you through a Zoom. But yeah, she is famously Laurie Strode from just the incredible Halloween series. She's not in them all, obviously, but she's in the ones that count. Actually, she's not in some of. She is in some shit ones as well. She's in Halloween Resurrection, which has Busta Rhymes saying famously, "Trick or treat, motherfucker."
I love that. That's a great film.
I think we might have to do all 9 Halloween movies. Halloween's one of the
For our Easter special.
Yes, for our Passover special. Pride Month. Well, we did Woody Allen for Pride Month last year, so you know our theming is spot on. Where are we? Steam. Oh no, it's specific favorite parts.
Yeah.
The Jamaican disguise of Ken Pyle in the second. Does that say Jamaican? Yeah, that says Jamaican.
You're making me crazy.
I've put cock frame, which is when he grabs the picture of the wife and puts it in front of himself.
I like that.
My favorite little Otto moment from the interrogation is, I'm almost full.
I like it when he talks to the fish. Hello.
Hello, lady fish. Wake up, lady fish.
I mean, that scene alone is why he won the Oscar.
Who wrote in also Zach Saprustra that you know what Nietzsche said about animals? That they were God's second biggest blunder. Another great Otto moment when he goes to reason with Archie, and he goes, "Porker mad, fucker blue," and the sincerity with which he says "fucker blue" is great. I have the best part of the is try singing it. Try singing it. That's the bit where I always, no matter how many times I've seen the film, I always laugh at singing. I really like the gun flip. I mean, it couldn't necessarily happen nowadays with security, but when he throws the gun, that's just great stuff. And another incredible moment when Archie puts the gun on him and he goes, "Oh, it's you." Oh, I thought I was worried for a minute there. Put your hands up. I'll put one hand up. No, put the other one up. Oh. It's just incredible stuff. And the bit where Michael Palin completely loses his stutter after he's been kissed, it's just great stuff. Will's more general favourite.
Hello. Oh, but I've got when Kevin first sees the fish and he's shouting at the fish tank and hitting it. I like that. There's quite a when he's doing his first round of Italian lovemaking, and we first realise that she's got this very strange kink, and it really it's a 0 to 100 straight away, boom thing.
It really works for Wanda. It's fair to say.
But when he throws her onto the bed, that's quite a thud. The Foley artist had a fun time there. Kevin through window. Oh, the bit where he's got the stethoscope on the window, like that. And then at the end of that, when he pops up in the middle, he's like, "Don't call me stupid." And I like his little tiny scarf.
He looks great. There's some great fashion in this movie.
He does.
I think some of Wanda's looks. What's Wanda's best look? The jean skirt that she has, but it's like longer than a regular skirt. That's a good look when she puts the glasses on.
I think John Cleese's best look is when he's in his pants.
Oh yes, and he's doing the Russian and he's slowly taking the socks off.
Hi, my name is Meryl Streep, and I want to tell you about my latest... I'm sorry. I have absolutely no idea why I said that. I know, because at dinner last night, that was it. Somebody, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, my mind was wandering. My name is, in fact, John Cleese. Cleese, and not Streep. S-T-R-E-E-P. I mean, not. Anyway, I want to tell you about A Fish Called Wanda, and not about Falling in Love or Deer Hunter or Out of Africa or any other of Meryl's films. Now, I'm not only internationally megastarring in this film, but I also wrote it. I've got a lot of points, and I think it promises to be a big hit. And I'll give you lots of reasons why it will be a big hit.
But it's such a boring language. What about the Russian? And then that gets her off more.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Let's talk about this now. I don't know how I feel about the whole horny language thing. I don't know whether it's because it's what you're talking about, where she goes 1 to 100 straight away. Because in a way, it is a broad comedy, but in other ways, it's not a broad comedy. And I just...
No, it seems like something too real, too surreal.
It feels like a Python sketch. Like
it does.
Especially when she's like writhing around on that rope. And also, you know what I don't like about that bit when she's writhing around on the rope is that her leg starts like touching around the potted plant. And every time I'm like, oh,
it's gotta go. It's gotta go.
And I'm like, is that going to be the gag? But it never is. I always forget. Yes, back to you.
So the gag they need to do there is when she gets really in danger, or it's just a normal time of day with a random person who just happens to speak in Italian, but she gets really turned on at the wrong time. That would be the gag.
Yeah. What we're saying is that we are better comedy writers than John Cleese.
I think so.
It's certainly been said by us. Have you got any other favourite parts, Will?
That's it from me.
Soundtrack corner's a tough one this week because there's no actual songs. However, I very much like the main theme, the ding, 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 just the soft guitar. But I do prefer the hospital music. Let's talk about Oscar travesty. There isn't really one, because this is one of those great exemptions. Pardon me. One of the great exemptions where a comedy.
Also, you'd never get a film like this winning an Oscar nowadays. This is a.
No. Are you seeing this screen?
It's loading. It's loading. I don't know how big it was back then, and how big the names were. But something like this, nowadays we'd like a little independent, funny British, that little quirky thing.
The last one that I remember getting a nomination was Melissa McCarthy was Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids
Yeah.
got a screenplay nod, and Melissa McCarthy got a Best Supporting
Yeah.
Actress. It's still not loading, is it?
No.
1 minute. How is it? This is. It's not. Oh. Are we good?
No.
In the meantime, yeah, no. I remember Bridesmaids getting a screenplay nod, and there we are. Don't know what happened there. Bridesmaids getting the screenplay and Melissa McCarthy Best Supporting Actress, but this got a Best Director nomination in a year of Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that either.
What, Rain Man beat this?
Yeah, Rain Man swept. Rain Man swept. I'd probably. It's a weird one.
Yeah, to be honest, you look at Best Supporting nominees, you see why it won, regardless of the amazing performance that he gave.
Martin Landau's great in Tucker. Dean Stockwell's enjoyable in Married to the another comedy performance.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an odd year.
No Cruise nomination.
No, this is the famous thing. I think that it should have been Cruise nominated, even winning for Best Actor. Oh, but do I think that Huffman should have been nominated for Best Supporting? Because then we wouldn't. Because Clyde definitely wouldn't have won. Either way, what I'm trying to say is that, and
they should have played it like that. Because they would have both won.
But also, famously with Rain Man, I think that Tom Cruise is the better performance, because it's not that Dustin Hoffman isn't completely exceptional in encapsulating Raymond and all the idiosyncratic, all that stuff.
Rain Man.
Baby water, hot water. But Qantas never crashed. And Rayman's great. I love Rayman. But Tom Cruise. I don't know why it didn't get any. I'm having a look now. What else came out in 1988? So it is a pretty slim year. So basically, Rain Man. Oh wait, okay. So let's have a look. So Best Supporting Actor, Kevin Kline wins. I don't think we need any more nominations for A Fish Called Wanda for the acting categories.
No.
Let's have a look at screenplays, because this is a real underrated crop of classics. So Rain Man wins, which I disagree with. Big, great.
Yeah.
Bull Durham, incredible. Fish Called Wanda. Running on Empty isn't bad, but it is the weak link here. So I've got it up now. The other movies we had this year that could have. Okay, right. So we've got Scrooged, which which I'm going to say it. Why isn't, if Tom Hanks can get nominated for Big, why isn't Bill Murray being nominated for Scrooged?
Arguably one of his best performances.
For that final 10 minutes alone, which breaks my heart.
Makes you laugh, makes you cry, does it all?
Breaks my heart every single time. The minute that Bill Murray gets choked up and he says, and it's a good feeling, and it's better than I've felt in a long time. I'm getting upset now. It gets me in an uncontrollable way. Naked Gun coming to great year for comedy. Naked Gun coming to America. Who's Afraid of Roger Rabbit? Midnight Run. Okay, so I'd like Midnight Run in the final slot. Or is Midnight Run based off a book? I don't know. Anyway, but you could make the argument that this should have been a Dangerous Liaisons year. Especially for Glenn Close. I think Jodie Foster is incredible in The Accused, but I think she's a lot better in her second win, which is the year after, which is obviously Silence. I think Melanie Griffith in Working Girl, what the fuck is happening there? It's a goddamn travesty. She's absolutely terrible in the film. Cocktail also came out this year, which I greatly love, but I don't think it needs any nominations. Die Hard. So this is the other one. Like
Die Hard.
Die Hard, arguably the best film of that year, but we're looking at, it's the Oscars, isn't it? In what world?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to say it. Get rid of Alan Parker for Mississippi Burning, John McTiernan in for Die Hard. I think if Die Hard's getting a nomination here, give it director. But they never would. Why would they? Because, So it doesn't win screenplay.
There's a lot of problems with the Oscars.
Yes, there is. Best original score. I mean, we're not giving it anything else. What else could we give it? Maybe editing?
No. I have an issue with editing.
This is maybe, I was going to say this is what the best picture should have been, but then I saw Gorillas in the Mist, the movie where Sigourney Weaver played Diane Fossey, the gorilla woman. And I thought, no, we don't need Gorillas in the Mist.
Sorry, first of all, it's got Americans in it. There's Kevin Kline, one of your very finest classical actors, playing an extremely stupid psychopath with an interest in Buddhist meditation techniques and physical violence. And it's got Jamie Lee Curtis as the lying, conniving, manipulative, ruthless little vixen who's after the diamonds. And believe me, she's perfect casting. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Jamie. She asked me not to mention anything about perfect.
Will's favourite building or set?
I've struggled. I'll say the house by the sea.
This does come into, sometimes this turns into Will and Tom's property corner where they talk about which house they'd like to move into.
Well, you may notice again, I mean, when he's in his pants and she's rolling around with the plants, it's like I've said many times before, one of those split level rooms where you've got the balcony overlooking an open plan downstairs.
Quite dangerous, as we nearly.
Yeah, well, it depends what sort of kinks you have, really.
Yes, if you're writhing around a rope. Best single minute then. I'll start us. The opening shots, the opening intros to everybody. Otto shooting his alarm clock, and Wanda just looking incredible. Basically, they're just like, we haven't got a funny character thing. Let's just have Jamie Lee Curtis come on the screen. And this film doesn't work, and neither does There's Something About Mary.
Okay.
No. And neither does There's Something About Mary. If Jamie Lee Curtis and Cameron Diaz aren't, on a superficial level, aren't as beautiful as they are, and on a genuine level, aren't as funny, warm, you believe the love story in this wacky comedy. You think when they're finally on the plane, you think, yeah, I can see that. They can, yeah. It's obviously they can't do the cut to the Caribbean because that's how Trading Places ended. And it would be the exact same ending as Trading Places. Looking good, Billy Ray. Looking good, Lewis. Feeling good, Lewis. And then it cuts to looking good, Archie Leach. Feeling good. So you can't have that. But anyway, the sex, the cutting between the sex, the boring clipping of the nails, scratching of the bald patch, the really embarrassing little, like she's embarrassed to take her knickers off in front of her husband, and then it cuts to the insane gymnastics of Otto. How do we fit? Right, I'm going to touch on this now. This is another possible change. The smelling of the armpits, okay. I really like the whole heel, the whole boot thing, and blowing up the boot. That's great. When he's bouncing about on her.
But apart from all the Americans, who I know will be very welcome in your country, I believe this film is going to be a really big hit, because it is, and I think this is a very fair claim, a really mean film. It's about greed, lust, envy, hatred, murder, betrayal, paranoia, sand dabs. It has all the elements of comedy. And above all, I'm proud to say, it has masses of violence. Old women getting killed, small dogs being murdered, Michael Palin's pet fish being eaten in front of his very eyes by Kevin Kline. And not only violence, but huge quantities of sex. Now, As you know, I am something of a sex object these days, well, by British standards at least, and I thought it would be terrific if I, as the archetypal sexy Englishman, got together with Jamie Lee Curtis, the perfect embodiment of, the ideal embodiment of the sexy American girl, and that we should have lots of scenes together in which I take my clothes off. And I think it was when I first told him about this that Alan Ladd decided to give me the money. On the spot, he said, you and Jamie in a lot of raunchy scenes, and you keep taking your clothes off. Okay, he said, I'll give you 37 million. And he did.
You can't, there's no way it's going in and out. I'm sorry. He's bouncing too high. He's bouncing like way too high, and you can.
You paused, done a few calculations. So the angle there, that's not.
No, but like
it's like when. Remember when the poster for Skyscraper with Dwayne Johnson came out, and he was leaping from the crane into the burning building, and they all started to do the calculations to say he just wouldn't have made the jump.
It's like when was it the Ready Player One poster where one of the legs was like extremely longer than the other.
Yeah.
But like you can see, and I know it's a comedy, and I laugh every time, but still, and the duvet's going too high, so you can see. And I mean, I didn't expect him to actually have sex with Jamie Lee Curtis, but you can see that he's not going anywhere near, and like it's a bit too wacky because they're not having fun because he comes at the end of it.
Oh, okay.
Well, he does, doesn't he? He makes the face.
He does.
Where else am I going with this? Outside court, the bit with Ken and Otto. He's going to kill her! Like, buggering each other. Kind of stuff. The break-in with where he beats up Archie. Oh, yeah, and then he gets angry and starts kicking him again. The steamroller. Revenge. Oh, Ken's going to kill me. Just incredible stuff. That whole Vietnam bit as well in the cement. Oh, like winners like North Vietnam.
It was a draw.
Just great stuff. I love Vietnam humour. I made a great joke to an American yesterday.
Oh, you shouldn't do that. They're very touchy about it.
That was the point. It was, how did it come up? It was like, something about like guerrilla forces. And I was like, oh, like the Viet Cong. And she was like, the what? And I was like, oh, I forgot. They probably don't teach you about Vietnam in your schools, do they? And just 3 single minutes, every one of the dog killings. Will, your single minutes.
I've got nothing different to what you've said.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Best line. I mean, just some absolute classics. Let me get out of the way immediately that the best line, maybe of the 80s.
Oh, hold on. Is it a Kevin Kline line?
Yes.
And is it of him swearing many times?
No, it's...
Oh.
Well, yes, but it's the end.
Ah.
Go on, you say the first half, I'll say the second half. Go.
I'm not saying that. I'm not on YouTube. My mother watches it.
Pompous, stuck-up, snot-nosed, English giant, twerp, scumbag, fuckface, dickhead, asshole. Now, very interesting. You're a true Bulgarian, aren't you? You're the Bulgarian, you fuck. You the Bulgarian, you fuck is one of the best lines ever written. Revenge is going to kill me. How are you going to catch me?
I like it when he's like, he's doing his apology and he's like, oh, I'm so very, very, and he's like, and then he can't finish it. He's like, fuck you.
It's great stuff. Don't call me stupid. Why not? Not. Oh, you English are so superior, aren't you?
I'm happy that I love how he says. Well, you can tell it's written by Cleese in his way because he doesn't go, "You British." It is English.
Love story. Yes, a love story. It's really about who gets the girl, whether it's going to be Kevin Kline, Michael Palin, Tom Georgeson, or me. And I'll tell you, the one who gets the girl is the one who wrote the film. Yes, folks, I get Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm sorry, but my age, why else would I bother to write a stupid film? So that's it. Americans, sex, violence, a love story, plenty of fish, lots and lots of fish, more fish than you'll find in any of Merrill's other films. So that's it, really. A great big fat hit with Kevin Kline, Michael Palin, Jamie Lee Curtis, and John Streep, together again for the first time in A Fish Called Wanda. A love story, but a really mean one. Thank you.
Well, would you like to know where you'd be without us? The good old US of A to protect you? I'll tell you, the smallest fucking province in the Russian Empire. That's what. So don't call me stupid, lady. Just thank me. Well, thank you for popping in and protecting us. If it wasn't for us, you'd obviously be in German. Deutschland, Deutschland, Überland.
I sing that every time I walk down a flight of stairs.
Yes. I think Wendy is a bit of an underrated aspect of this film. I think Maria Atkin is really great.
Yeah.
Especially when she sort of dresses Otto down that time of, well, my father worked for the CIA and you wouldn't tell me if Russian covert operations. Yes. Any other lines, Will?
I've got, it's Ken coming to kill
Which is
me.
the best line in the entire film. It has to be said. My favourite Wonder line, I looked at the clock because I was saying to myself, it's 5 to 7. Where could I be going with that sawed-off shotgun? And then that's a great little bit. The car going to pot and it's wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Will shoot us. What are we shooting at each other? What's the change? You got anyone?
Well, just a few editing problems here and there, but you can expect that from this sort of film. Like, there's a few jump cuts that shouldn't have been jump cuts, so I was a bit out of play. But that's, for me, it's just the editing.
Anything else?
Not really. If you base it on sort of the genre of the film and the time, this is what it's meant to be. So
and
I
it's all
can't
the
really
better
pull
for
apart.
it.
Can't really pull apart the story.
I do have a few. I don't know what it is. I know that it's like a bit, I know that it's funny, I know that it's a bit creepy, and I know that they both react to it in the shot and they're like, but just the line, even if you were my brother, I'd still want to fuck you. I do, it just always unsettles me. Kevin Kline is an absolute master performer and a master actor. However, it always takes me out when Otto has a perfect English accent. Should Otto have a perfect English accent? Probably not.
No. So as though he hates the English so much.
So it just takes me out because I immediately go, that's not Otto.
Yeah.
That's Shakespearean classic actor Kevin Kline.
It's okay. Who did Wild Wild West.
We talked about the sex, we talked about the horny languages. The body double of George when he jumps across all of the court tables is painfully noticeable. I don't know how I feel about Otto at the window at the final end with all the cement on him. I think I like that, but I don't like the fact that there's not a dummy. Like, we cut to the plane and there's like so clearly nobody. You need just, I mean, I don't know if they had the budget or whatever. I mean, we know the story why that shot's in, because the ending was deemed too dark and everybody was like, oh, he's dead. And so they needed him to come back. But just throw a dummy off a plane. But I guess that'd be like, he was going to die anyway. And also, I think the final slides could have been funnier. They're all chuckle worthy.
I think they were just trying to find a visual gag to end it with.
Yeah, but all of them are a bit weak. I don't know.
Well, as we said again, we are better comedy writers than John Cleese.
What's Slipper and Will's notes?
I think that might be it. You know,
what's Slipper and Tom's notes? So do you know who Archie Leach is the real name of?
No.
Cary Grant.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
It's
a cool
cool.
fact.
And they used to live near each other. That's why you put
Very
it.
good.
And
Very good.
Stephen Fry's one of Stephen Fry's first roles.
Hey.
We get a little fry. Alternate ending, Connor. We just talked about studio notes when it came to changing the ending. A few fun facts. The fish that Kevin Kline ate were made out of Jell-O. However, Kline claims that he offered to eat real live fish, but the filmmakers wouldn't let him.
Not
So
the real
Michael,
ones, anyway.
yeah, I think I could have eaten real ones. So Michael Palin's father stuttered, so Michael used a lot of his real life experience when playing Ken, including the fact that Ken's stutter is less pronounced around people he trusts, and worse around people with whom he is uncomfortable, such as Otto.
And John Cleese.
And John Cleese. Jamie Lee Curtis buried her face in pillows during Kevin Kline's ejaculation scene to keep her from bursting out laughing at the faces he was making.
I often think that that's the case in every relationship.
In the robbery scene, it really was Kevin Kline who shot the crossbow at the sensor. Kevin got the shot off correctly on the second take.
Very good.
Jamie Lee Curtis was listed as Jamie Lee Schwartz on all of the call sheets because John Cleese found it so amusing that her father, Tony Curtis' real name was Bernard Schwartz. Schwartz. Mr. Schwartz, Schwartz. Michael Palin founded the London Centre for Stammering Children after a group of stutterers confronted him regarding the sensitivity with which he dealt with Ken Powell's handicap in the film.
Oh.
Yeah. So Michael Palin thought the script was awful when he first read it and recorded his low opinion of it in his diary. The dog scenes apparently were reshot because they originally used butcher entrails, and they were a lot more graphic, and people just weren't laughing. During the love scene, when Wanda opens up her blouse, Otto says in broken Italian, "Eccole du copolo le cattedrale di Milano," which translates to these are the two domes of the Milan Cathedral. This is one of the two movies released in 1988 in which the main villain is run over with a steamroller but survives. Can you guess the other one, Will?
88.
88.
My God.
We've mentioned it in our Oscars.
I'm sure you. It's not Die Hard.
It's not.
Not Die Hard. I can't remember.
It's Who's Afraid.
Oh, it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I got it. I got it.
Nearly said it. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Who's Afraid?
Which famously doesn't have a steamrolling scene.
Maybe that's how the son died.
The son didn't die. That's the point. Anyway, are you ready for this one, Will? Arguably the best piece of trivia ever, if not a little tragic. In 1989, when this movie was shown in theaters in Denmark, a Danish man named Ole Benson, an audiologist, literally laughed himself to death during the scene where Ken Pyle gets the chips up his nose. Benson's heart rate went between 250 and 500 beats per minute, and he eventually succumbed to a cardiac arrest. The story behind this is that the man had made a joke a few years earlier with his family during dinner, where he put a piece of cauliflower up his nose, and every family member, as a joke, and made a bet with them on who could eat up their carrots without the cauliflower falling out. This story is well known in Scandinavia and spread around as almost an urban legend shortly after it happened. It was confirmed by his son, who also told the dinner story as an explanation to why his father laughed so hard.
Fine. Where? The hotel. The hotel? Which hotel? Go on. It's okay. Wait. Slowly, very slowly. The car. Plenty of time. Ka. Ka. The ka. Oh, come on! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, wait. The ka. The, yeah, write it. Write it.
That's
So-
the most Danish thing I've ever.
That is quite literally the Monty Python sketch with the
I
German,
would say
with
the
German
world's funniest
joke.
joke. Yeah, yeah.
That's a good trivia question. And
That's
I
one of my
can't-
favourite sketches as
I
well.
can't remember the answer. What was the joke?
I don't think anyone knows.
Oh, I thought that we did know, and it was.
Oh,
really
is it?
boring.
Let me have a look now. Let's see how far.
Do a quick Google. In the meantime, synopsis of a sequel. We obviously don't have one, but we do have Tom's big questions. But in the meantime, Will, have you found? Do we have any knowledge?
It's Venice das Nunstuck getun Stommeraya. Ja, 400 das oder de Philipp verwalt gesput.
Do we have a translation of this?
Let me put it into Google Translate because I can't find an immediate one on Wikipedia. German translate. Nice. Fatal error. Oh, Google Translate does the joke. That's
Oh,
great.
right. Okay.
Because it's come back in brackets, fatal error, just as the people died from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, funny. You're really funny, Google.
Good for you, Google.
Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Let me find.
Oh God, good old Google Translate. If I don't have any German friends, I'd ring them. Could do a live German translation. Oh goodness gracious me! Oh, our Death Becomes Her episode has just gone live 2 minutes ago, and it's already got 1 view.
There you go.
Look at that. So the kids love Death Becomes Her. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering when this is being recorded, it's now. It's the morning that Death Becomes Her came out. Will, have you found this joke? Because I can't sit here any longer.
I think we'll just not have to tell it.
How embarrassing. Tom's big question: who was the best performance in the film outside of Kline? Palin?
I think it's got to be Palin.
Actually, Palin's the funniest. Best performance, I think, is a tie of
Curtis.
Wanda and Cleese. I think that whole relationship. What's your favourite dog death, Will?
Oh, I don't know. I think the first one's quite good.
This one's good. Okay. Would he still be allowed on the plane that dirty?
I've seen worse.
Imagine sitting next to them. And also, he's got
Ryanair.
wet cement, so it's going to dry and it's going to be stuck.
Oh, so I've got to have to stop you there. Cement does not dry. If it dries, it cracks, forming fatal sort of. It'll make it shear, and it fails the whole point. Cement hydrates. It does not dry. It's a chemical reaction.
I'm really glad I brought this up. Will, as beautiful and as attractive as Jamie Lee Curtis is, and as the start of their relationship has unfolded. However, if you were sat on your own and Wanda was at the door, like when she's let in during the opera scene, and then she's just stood there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you still be like, why are you in my house? How did you get in?
Yeah. It would be the same reaction to Cleese and the family.
Yes. Alas. That's just about it. Will, do you have anything else to say about A Fish Called Wanda?
I think it may be the shortest episode we've ever recorded.
No.
No, it can't be. It can't be.
Who knows?
Could
be. Jinx. Have we missed anything? I mean, I don't think we have.
That's all there is to say, really, isn't it? It's just a fun movie.
It's a really fun, really good movie. There's no long moral discussions to be had. Alas. Monsieur, it has been my distinct pleasure. Auf Wiedersehen. Wait, what's goodbye in Italian? Au revoir?
Is it not ciao?
Ciao, ciao, Montebello. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Dabba 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 da